You make Oblivion your master, Aatrox, and so stand for nothing.
Dang. He's basically saying you literally stand for nothing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome on in. We're going to be taking a look at Zaahen today, the Unsundered. Now, we have already taken a look at the Twilight's End trailer that was released a couple of weeks ago as a recording, so go take a look at that if you haven't seen that just yet. What we're going to be doing today is diving into Zaahen's biography and story. We'll move on to the gameplay for Zaahen, see the abilities, breakdown, and things like that, and then we'll move on to if there's any additional skins for Zaahen upon release, and then we're going to take a look at the wiki, and we'll end up with the voice lines at the very end of the video, and just learning more about Zaahen in this world. I'm real excited to get to the voice lines to see what's going on there. All right, everybody, go ahead and grab a snack, grab a drink. Let's go ahead and dive into Zaahen's biography first. All right, the quote we have says, "Steal the mind, temper the flesh, hunt the fallen." Our role is fighter. Region says Runeterra. Race, Darken. Related champions, we have Zhao, Yunara, Kayn, and Varus. So, you know, two other Darkens, of course, related. And then, of course, we have seen the comic that Zaahen is a part of as well. Okay, so a fallen god wielding both divine and profane power, Zaahen hunts his fellow Darken while defying the corruption that threatens to consume him. Once willingly sealed within his glaive to stave off madness, he now walks free, noble in heart and vicious in purpose. Zaahen fights an eternal war within, but so long as he endures, he will rise above all who seek to bring Runeterra to ruin. That's a pretty badass paragraph. I'm not gonna lie. Let's dive right into that biography though. Rost and I circle one another on a flattened mountaintop. We have warred for many days and nights, unflagging even when the mortal armies far below us rested to count their dead. Malice makes his features cruel, sharpening him almost beyond recognition. Almost. You have fallen far, brother, but this is not who you are. I offer my hand. Come fight beside me for what we once were. I would show mercy to every god warrior I hunt, though I know it will not reach them. Rost barks out a laugh. What we once were is nothing. What we are now, you deny. It sickens me. He hunches, prowling. I hold myself upright, bringing my proffered hand to a fist behind me. A moment passes, the sun beholding its once divine children before we lunge. Each strike of our blades rattles the heavens. The golden edge of my glaive veils the sun as I raise it again and again. The skies weep crimson. Long since aflame from this war waged across lands, across centuries, I stab forth. He slashes, we bleed. With every wound we draw, Rost roars with joy. To watch him grin in madness is hold. To see how far he has fallen, it awakens a cold wrath, a hatred to the death. For this is the face of my failure. Okay, so blaming himself. Why do you not join us, Zaahen? He taunts, corrupted power gathering at his clawed fingertips. He wrenches it across his flesh, forcing his wound to close. This world has forgotten its masters. It deserves to be ravaged. I cannot deny the whisper within that wants nothing more. If I turn against this world, I will be lost to fury, to bloodthirst, to the fall of our kind, but at least we will be lost together. If we turn against this world as one, none could stop us. I cleave the thought from mind and ready my blade. We clash again. Flesh tears. My chest blooms with blood, a wound deep enough to be fatal. Warmth spreads through me. My divinity surges, working desperately to heal the gash. Not enough. I fall to one knee, blood stains my feathers, the stench of iron chokes the air. I hear my name, shouted from far below, the voice of an old friend calling to a broken god. I drag my talons through the wound, drawing blood from blood. My veins blacken, my body seethes as muscle and sinew weave back together. We are masters of nothing. We are Darken, I stand, and we must all be destroyed. Wow. I rise in rage for what we have become and reverence for the gods we once were. I rise with the pride of our great kinship and the pain of betraying it in bloodshed. Clinging to broken vows and broken brotherhood, the divine and profane war within. Yet in battle they find the same purpose, fight on. In this I am whole. In this I can silence all disquiet, carve away doubt, rise above my suffering. If the Darken cannot be saved, then we must be silenced. This memory fades, leaving only the emptiness of my prison, the weapon that binds me. Okay, so this was a memory. Now we're to where Zaahen is presently. Beyond its confines, I sense movement, footsteps echoing through the temple halls. The tread of an ally, my old friend, ever vigilant. She often comes close, or so it seems, but never crosses the threshold. Does she think to free me? She cannot. She must not. She knows as well as I that darken and divine battle within me. Yet somewhere within that endless warring, the better part of my nature stirs and remembers. I once stood upon the ascension steps, wreathed in golden light, glaive in hand, a silver-winged god. A nascent Shurima stretched before me, destined for empire. Ritual drums resounded, thunderous ovation rose from an audience 10,000 strong, among them a host of god warriors resplendent in their power, resplendent in their armor, rejoiced as I joined their ranks. I had led many to these same steps. It was my duty, my honor, the calling that earned me a place upon the sacred dais. I had come to them in what would be their last days of mortality, gave word of their worthiness to become gods, and swore guidance to deliver them unto eternity. Wow, so he's led many of them on the same steps. So this is why, you know, Zaahen is so like hurt by like the way they've become as Darken, and so that's why, you know, he wants to change it. I envision them as they were: young Rost, his wit and ambition sharp as his scythe; Shalani, gentle-hearted and weary of war; Varys, the voice of reason who guided us back to duty; Sataka, lion-hearted, the pride of our kind, to whom I pledged my blade. My chest swelled with love for them, for the kin we were to be. I hoisted my glaive and vowed to fight beside them, to guard the light that made us. The brilliance of the memory disperses, as do her footsteps. I am alone once more with my thoughts, my war unending. This is my eternity. Time forgets, but I remember every vow, every face, every failure. If I am called again, I will save this world or finish what we began. Wow. Okay, I love that, dude. They always kill it with the last like couple sentences in these biographies and these stories. They just really like amp you up with what you just read. Good biography. I think this is really interesting. I mean, mostly what it is it's actually mostly just like two different memories. One, him fighting Rost after they've both become Darkened. Him remembering that he led like so many up the same steps and the same path that he took, you know, regarding specific people: Rost, Shalani, Varys, and Sataka. So very cool that he actually mentioned his names here. I think that just adds more depth to the memory, of course. But yeah, I think a really, really good biography. Zaahen seems really interesting so far. I want to hear from you guys though. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts so far on Zaahen's lore. It seems like he's gotten a decent amount. You know, I know Yunara was the previous champ to come out. She had a decent amount of lore too. There was several different things going on, but I think Zaahen has a little bit more. Obviously, being also a Darken just adds more to the lore of this champion, right? So, all right, let's move on. There is no story. That's totally fine. I don't think they're doing those stories anymore, right? I think they said they're not doing that. But let's move on to see Zaahen's gameplay abilities. All right, everybody, you know what time it is. It's time to do the champion spotlight up next. 3.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and give this a watch. I'm curious what abilities they gave to Zaahen.
An enlightened warlord who chose exile and imprisonment to stop the threat of his fellow Darken, Zaahen has returned to once again fight a battle against his own kin and within himself. In-game, Zaahen wages war as a lethal brawler who can skirmish with the best of them. With a mix of sustained damage, mobility, and auto attacks, this darkened warrior ascends in combat to become unstoppable as the battle rages on.
Looks cool.
Discover the power of Zaahen the Unsundered in this champion spotlight.
Dang, aura. All right, what's the passive?
Zaahen's passive is Cultivation of War. Okay. Every attack and ability that hits an enemy champion fills Zaahen with determination. Each level of determination grants bonus attack damage until Zaahen reaches full power. But we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Zaahen's Q is the Darkened Glaive. After casting, his next attack slashes twice, dealing bonus damage, applying on-hit effects, and healing for a percentage of his maximum health.
Cool.
Recasting the ability within 4 seconds empowers his next attack with more bonus damage and a knockup.
Okay.
This makes Zaahen even more attack-oriented than your typical bruiser.
4 seconds.
As his name suggests, he's all about those AAs.
It's cool, okay.
With his W, Dreaded Return, Zaahen stabs his glaive forward, damaging any enemies it hits
and it pulls
them toward himself.
Oh.
In addition to keeping cowardly enemies in range, his W is great for multi-stacking his passive in the heat of battle, as it hits on the initial stab and again on the drag for double procs, and it can strike multiple enemies at once.
Wow. Okay. Looks good
his
so far.
Is Aureate Rush. Zaahen dashes a short distance and then flourishes his glaive, dealing damage to all enemies around him. Enemies at the edge of his sweeping
So he has a
strike
pull
catch even more
and a
damage.
dash, basically.
Whether you decide to use Aureate Rush as a chase tool or as a quick repositioning option,
right.
you're golden. Finally, Zaahen's ultimate is Grim Deliverance. Zaahen prepares for battle, takes flight, and slams down into the fray.
Okay, it's a big AoE, basically.
Impact will increase his determination for every enemy champion in the area.
Okay.
Expertly timed, this ultimate can swing the odds back in Zaahen's favor. But his true power is revealed when he reaches that final level of determination and unlocks the other part of his passive.
Oh.
With full stacks, Zaahen doubles the bonus AD from his Cultivation of War, and the next time he would die, he instead revives after a few seconds with a portion of his max health, back to finish what he started.
That's crazy. Okay.
Zaahen is a serious threat over time, so smart enemies will either disengage early or shut you down before he reaches his max potential.
He looks really fun to play, I will say that for sure.
Apply his ancient techniques well, though, and your high sustain abilities will allow you to thrive in an extended
and
fight,
he doesn't seem
both
like
death and defeat.
he doesn't seem too difficult. Maybe I'm crazy to say that, but he doesn't honestly
If you're
seem that
drawn to the
crazy
art of
difficult.
Combat and unflinching champions like Alawi, Darius, or Jax, give Zaahen a try. You may find this meditative Darkin is exactly the warrior you've been waiting for.
There you go. He does seem
The
cool.
moment for mercy is long past. Break your enemies until only you remain, with Zaahen, the Unsundered.
I love how we've had the same like guy doing the voice for all these champion spotlights for like how many years now? I guess as of recording this and everything, he's been in the game for a few days now. I want to hear from everybody in the comments. How is Zaahen in the game at this time? I do feel like when they release champions, I think most games kind of have this philosophy. I guess it depends, but most games like to like release a champion, make them a little bit overpowered, and then tweak them down later. Would you guys say that is the case with Zaahen here, or would you say he's really not that great? Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to know more about Zaahen in game. All right, keeping it going. We do have Zaahen's champion theme, 4 minutes long, a little bit of a longer one, to be honest with you. I don't know what to expect from this. Let's just give it a listen and let's kind of like vibe out to it. Here we go. Already lots of elements going on here. Oh, yeah, right. We get to see like kind of the build or the early initial artwork and everything here. Ooh, kind of eerie. Oh, what language is that? Oh, I can't tell. It's definitely feeling very eerie. Okay, here we go. Not the third eye opening. I love the melody so far of it. I also wonder what the lyrics mean, too. I wonder if there's like a translation somewhere. Oh. Dude, there's so much going on with the music. Oh, wow. The drums coming in. Hold on, are we changing it up? Okay. It's almost going like hardcore metal. Oh, yeah, I saw a little artwork from the cinematic there. Oh my God. Oh. Thought we brought some horns in there, I think. Man, they kill it with the music every time. Oh! Oh! It just keeps going higher and higher. Wow. Dang. That was... That was fantastic, man. That was so good. The music, man, every time. I mean, they keep killing it with the champion theme. I know everybody likes to make the joke that, you know, Riot is basically just a music company first and a game company second. Really, really well done. Props to whoever made the music in this. Okay, it does have the lyrics down here, actually. It says, "Oh, warrior, you are not to blame, for the weight of this world is not yours alone. Wake up, the return to the light. Oh, warrior, you are not to blame." Okay, I mean, we could take that in the literal sense of like, you know, Zaahen's not the one to blame for how the Darkins are, you know, acting now. And like, you know, it's not his fault that all these Darkins are around and causing chaos and wanting to end the world. So, you know, I guess that would be the literal sense of taking the lyrics how they are. Beautiful song, man. So many different elements going on with it. The melody was great. I thought at some point it was going to have like a dramatic drop, and it really didn't. It just kept going higher and higher, adding more elements. I think we got some horns in there. We had more singing. And then at the end, it didn't even really drop. It just kind of, you know, flatlined out and just kind of simmered out. But no, it was a really, really good song. I really enjoyed this one. I think it fits Zaahen perfectly. It starts off a little eerie, which is, I feel like maybe Zaahen, you can look at him that way a little bit. And then it just moves on to this grand combination of like all kinds of instruments. And it really excelled here, I think, towards the middle and then like even close to the end here. All right, everybody, let me know your thoughts about the champion theme in the comments. I thought it was really, really good. All right, everybody, in terms of a skin, there's honestly only one that I could find, obviously. All right, everybody, it looks like Zaahen only has one skin, which is, you know, it makes sense. He just came out. It's called Immortal Journey Zaahen skin. I'm going to take a look at it via the skin spotlight video. Let's just, I mean, kind of browse through it really. But we don't have like any other really skins to compare it to except for obviously the original skin. I think design wise, you guys let me know your thoughts on Zaahen, because I know I think there was like some controversy about the design for Zaahen initially, but I think everybody's happy with it. No, I could be wrong. All right, so we're going with like, do we have Immortal Journey skins? Is there a skin line for Immortal Journey? There's gotta be. This can't be the first one. I like the green wings here. Oh, we're seeing some emotes. Yeah, like the design on the wings looks really cool. I don't want to get spoilers for some of these voice lines. Oh wow, that recall looked really good. Now, I haven't actually seen the original recall. That is one that I don't have to compare it to, but there you go. He looks cool flying around like that. Yeah. Okay, we do get to see these. Now, obviously, let's see. Yes, it does have chromas, but this is obviously just the original colorization. If you don't want the typical, like, red, black, darken color, then you could probably go with this. Just see some of the abilities here.
Let them remember what it means to bleed.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like basically everything just got recolored a little bit to just like this green and black. And then we got revive. Oh yeah. The revive if he's at full determination. That's crazy. I mean, how often is he gonna be able to do that and actually live though? Okay, and then we got some death animations. Did he just disappear? Oh, cool. We get to see like all the animations like all back to back. So yeah, colorization or the chromas look really, really good. I just like the design on the wings. Like it's like a gradient that goes throughout the wing. It like starts light and then goes darker as it goes down. I think they did a really, really good job on the wings. Oh, it'd be cool if the recall actually changed colors depending on the chroma, but I get it. Some more chromas. I just want to take a look at all the chromas. I think the first group or the first batch were a little bit better. Let's move on. I guess, yeah, let me know in the comments if any of you are going to grab the first skin here, the Immortal Journey skin. Ooh, I do like the blue here. The blue's not bad. I mean, the pink purple isn't bad either. Yeah, let me know if you guys are just going to stick with the original skin or if you guys are going to go with any of the, or go with this skin or not. The white one's not bad here either. Not bad. I like the shoulders. All right, cool. So that's Immortal Journey. Let me know in the comments if you like this first skin, if there's any skin lines in the future that you'd be interested in seeing him have. Off the top of my head, I'm going to go with, I guess it'd be cool to see a pool party Zaahen. Let's go with that. I think that might be kind of wild. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this skin in the comments. All right, I did want to take a look at the trivia on the wiki. So it says Zaahen the Unsundered is one of the 23 champions without a single ability power ratio on any ability. Cultivation of War directly references Yunara's Cultivation of Spirit. Okay. Zaahen's kit features several homages to Xin Zhao's, his host body. The Determination portion of his passive Cultivation of War shares its name with Xin Zhao's Determination. The Darkened Glaive is an empowered basic attack that knocks targets up, similar to the 3-Talon Strike. And then Dreaded Return is a thrusting ability reminiscent of Wind Becomes Lightning. Obviously, already knew that. Obviously, like, they were going to make it similar to Xin Zhao's. But yeah, that makes sense. Cultivation of War's buff tooltip reads, knowing your passive is stacking fills you with determination, which might reference and serve as an homage to the 2015 video game Undertale, in which the specific phrase fills you with determination is stated often by the narrator throughout the game. The phrase has achieved meme status. Oh yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence then. Let me know in the comments if you played Undertale. I played Undertale many years ago, but I never beat it. You can come at me in the comments on that one if you'd like. Freak also used the phrase filled with determination in the official Zaahen champion spotlight. Cultivation of War is similar to Aatrox's old ability, Bloodwell, both abilities granting stat increases once their respective resource bars are filled and resurrecting the user if they would take lethal damage. Okay. After his relaunch in V8.13, Aatrox would retain a form of resurrection in his World Ender ability, from which it would inevitably be removed in V9.14. The Seneschal Seal icon from Trials of Twilight Act 1 foreshadowed his silhouette during the Grim Deliverance. Okay. That's what we have for trivia. Let's go ahead and move on to the wiki. I don't know if we'll learn any more there, but let's take a look. Okay, taking a look at Zaahen, looking at all the different artwork and the forms here on the right. Okay, it says a fallen god wielding both divine and profane powers. Zaahen hunts his fellow Darkin while defying the corruption that threatens to consume him. Once willingly sealed within his glaive to stave off madness, he now walks free, noble in heart and vicious in purpose. Zaahen fights an eternal war within, but so long as he endures, he will rise above all who seek to bring Runeterra to ruin. We have, real name over here, aliases. Let's see, age, born 3400 BN to 5000 BN. Place of origin, Shurima. Okay, everything we basically already know. All right, let's read about the Darken War here a little bit. It says Zaahen was born around 5000 BN to 3400 BN in Shurima. In his adulthood, he became a respected warrior and ascended into a bird-like form with silver wings. In this time, he selected and directed the ascensions of Rost, Varus, Shalani, and Sataka. While his ascended kin fell to the horrors of Akathia's Void War and the Shuriman Empire came apart due to the betrayal of Sherith, Zaahen was one of the few ascended whom retained much of their sanity and benevolent nature despite physically becoming a Darkin himself. He fought against his corrupted brethren in the Darkin War, where he and humanity learned how to seal the Darkin into their weapons. With his new knowledge, Zaahen traveled to the First Lands to aid in the resistance against Darkin invasion, a conflict now known now as the War of the False Kanmei by Ionians. In the First Lands, he met with the warriors of the Kinku Order, Kennen, the Heart of the Tempest, Yunara, the Fist of Shadow, and Bainan, the Eye of Twilight of that era. With Zaahen's aid, they sealed the Darkin invaders into their weapons, such as Rost, Varus, and Shalani. While seeing Rost, the Darkin almost got to kill him before Yunara came to help. After the war ended, the Eye of Twilight judged him to safe to return to his homeland. However, Zaahen began to fear that he too would eventually become like his fallen siblings, and asked to be sealed within a glaive in the Temple of Twilight and kept safe within the spirit realm. His request was fulfilled, and Yunara stayed with him to protect the temple for all times. To help their nation recover, the Kinku spun his and Yunara's tale into a legend about how a shrine maiden and a mighty spirit fought back against malevolent pretenders in the War of the False Kanmei. All right, and then we have modern history. We'll go ahead and read it. Centuries later, a disturbance in the spirit realm sent the Temple of Twilight and Yunara back to the material realm. LeBlanc sought to claim Zaahen's weapon for her own purposes and subjugated the demon Otacon to locate him. I think this is just a good refresher, so that's why we're reading it. The Temple of Twilight's return awakened many demons, prompting them to attack the nearby town of Kushan. While Yunara and Xin Zhao took up arms to defend the town, Otacon made his way toward the temple. After defeating the demonic forces, Yunara, Kennen, and Xin were alerted that the temple's defenses had been breached. As they advanced toward the temple, Yunara and Kennen revealed to Xin the truth about Zaahen. By the time they arrived, however, the temple had already retreated back into the spirit realm, with Otacon already inside. To reach Zaahen, Shin and Yunara would have to overcome the Trials of Twilight, a test created by the temple to judge the strength and honor of those who entered. Within the temple, Xin Zhao experienced a vision of Demacia in ruins and Jarvan IV corrupted by the Darkin. When presented with a Darkin weapon of his own, Zaahen intervened and warned him not to take it, allowing Shin to pass the trial. Upon reuniting with Yunara, she expressed surprise that Zaahen had aided them and believed there was still good left within him. Refusing to abandon him, they rushed off to find his weapon. When they finally reached Zaahen's weapon, they found that LeBlanc had already claimed it, now embedded in Otacon's shadowy flesh. The two tried to fight the demon and free Zaahen, but were overwhelmed by the combined might of the sorceress and her demonic servant. As Otacon moved in for the kill, Shin reached out to Zaahen's glaive to commune with its spirit. Within Zaahen's mindscape, the fallen god warned Shin to leave, insisting that mortals should not meddle with the power of gods. He declared that he was not the answer to their problems, only evil deferred. But Shin refused, arguing that they had no other choice and that Zaahen's power would darken the world with or without his permission. Shin reminded him that he had once sacrificed himself to save the world and urged him to let him do the same. Unable to hold back Otacon's assault anymore, Shin's strength began to fail, and in his final plea, Zaahen finally relented. Taking Xin Zhao as his host, Zaahen returned to the world once more and destroyed Otacon with a single devastating slash of his glaive, forcing LeBlanc to retreat. That is cool. I think this whole story has been really, really cool. This whole Ionia First Lands section that they've done from the last season, really, really cool stuff in terms of lore. Better than the Noxus stuff. I guess the Noxus stuff kind of led into this, but yeah, anyways, very, very cool. All right, let's look at appearance. Zaahen is a tall and slender humanoid figure. He has glow red eyes, pale gray skin, and long white hair. He wears no shirt, but his chest and arms are adorned with types of Shuriman amulets and necklaces, and he wears a dark blue cloak around his hips, as well as wings resembling a red cape on his back. In his ascended form, Zaahen was a tall humanoid figure with bird-like features. His head is that of a golden falcon with red eyes. He wore a robe similar to those of Shuriman priests in white and gold colors. And actually, I'm going to roll up here to show his ascended form. I'm assuming most of you have seen this if you're here for the lore, but maybe not. When he was human, Zaahen was a brown-skinned man with shaved hair with a veil on his head, a forehead ornament, and several golden ornaments on his body. He wore robes similar to those of Shuriman priests in white and gold colors. And that is also up here. There. Cool. All right, personality. Unlike the other Darkin who have a clear purpose for their carnage, Zaahen stands apart, aware of their race's malicious nature and opposes them. In his free form, he is incredibly stoic, empathetic, and patient, whereas in his glaive form, he seems to become more mysterious. All right, we have abilities. So Darkin physiology. As a member of the Darkin, Zaahen possesses a physiology different from that of mortals, such as superior strength, durability, speed, and agility. Of course, with that comes immortality. We have hemomancy. Like the rest of his siblings, Zaahen knows blood magic and can use it to manipulate the blood, flesh, and bones of both himself and others. Possession. He can possess the bodies of those who wield his spear. And then combat abilities, just being, a good, highly trained warrior. All right, relationships. It's about what we'd expect, but I'm going to go ahead and go through them just to see if there's any additional information. Okay, so the Darkin section and the Yunara and the Xin Zhao section for the relations is pretty much just repeat of everything that we just read, up above. So that makes sense. I don't think we have any other relations. It'd be cool if he had a relation with Azir somehow, but yeah, that's not in here. It'd be cool if he had some sort of random relationship with Azir or any of the Renekton or any of the other random ascended, but no, that is not the case. Okay, moving on. In terms of content, we have beginning of the end video, the Devoted Shrine Maiden. We did not look at the Devoted Shrine Maiden comic. I believe we didn't look at the comic The Truth either, but we have seen Twilight's End, of course, and we read the biography, The Unsundered. So cool, that's all the content there is for Zaahen. And the trivia. Zaahen used Xin Zhao's body as his host, killing him in the process. Zaahen's physical form debuted in Twilight's End cinematic. Zaahen's ascended form is possibly that of a silver wing raptor, as it was confirmed to not be based on a real-life bird and was hinted in his biography. Okay. Based on his role as a mentor of the other ascended, his shaved head and the circular sun disc-shaped ornament on his forehead, Zaahen is heavily implied to have been a sun priest, as a human responsible for determining who was worthy for the rites of ascension. I think that is definitely heavily implied. But it doesn't seem like they have outright said it just yet. All right, everybody, that leaves, last but not least, the voice lines for Zaahen. I'm curious to know what kind of voice lines we're going to have with the other Darkin. I think that's kind of the most exciting part, because some of the best voice lines that we do have are honestly from the Darkin champions in this game. Obviously, especially Aatrox being one of the more popular voice lines. I'm curious what he's going to say to Zaahen, any of the other Darkins. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into those voice lines. All right, ladies and gents, let's do the voice lines for Zaahen here. We're going to just dive into them and see what we get. Let's start off with the pick sound effect. It just sounds like I don't know. Sounds like something.
Fight against the fool.
Ooh, okay. Like the voice.
Wise to dread my return.
Wise to dread my return. It's a good one. All right, movement. Let's go straight into the first move voice lines.
This body was given in blood, and to blood it returns.
Okay, I like the voice acting there.
I do not wake an ancient war merely to fight it, but to end it.
Okay, that's a good one. I like it.
I will see beyond our madness. I will rise above all that has broken our minds.
Okay.
Steal the mind, temper the flesh, hunt the fallen.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I like the delivery so far from the voice actor. Really well done. Let's move on. All right, we do have our interactions here. I'm excited. What do we have with ally Aatrox?
Savor this battle, Aatrox. It is your last taste of freedom.
Afterwards, he's taking you out, basically. All right, Kane.
Rost, caught in a clash of wills. But know this, a greater war awaits you.
And then Neferi.
How noble to seek unity, Neferi, if it amounts to more than brutality.
I really like the way he's, I don't know, the way he's talking to them. All right, let's move on to Varus.
Varus, you seem closer to humanity. Heed it, or be hunted.
Heed it or be hunted. Crazy. Zhao.
Seneschal, resolute even in the fields of memory. We rise as one.
Okay, I like that one. Okay, and then we have Yunara next.
Yunara, this war took everything from you. How could I ask you to fight once more?
Lots of empathy coming from him towards Yunara.
You stood eternal guard, my friend. Let me match this devotion.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah, especially after the battle that had just occurred with Otacon and Twilight's End, he definitely seems like he cares for Yunara, especially because of her devotion to protecting, where he was at. All right, and then we have just first move with an ally Darkin.
My kin, show me you deserve to stand.
Hey, he's demanding it. That's crazy. All right, and then we have a ton of additional voice lines to dive right into the moving voice lines. We're going to semi-fast go through them, but here we go.
I am only evil, deferred.
Ooh, and that's okay. So that was in the wiki basically because that's why he put himself inside to be captured because because he knew he would go mad eventually, right? So he was just like, all right, just lock me away before it happens.
The lure of madness will not shake me from what must be done. Okay. Even the divine carry wounds which cannot heal. My brothers and sisters are adrift. I alone have awakened.
I alone have awakened. Wow.
The glaive obeys me, not the will of war. Those who look with darkened eyes see only shadows.
Oh, wow. I actually really like that voice line. Because if you only look at something with an already predetermined mindset, right, you're only going to see that. That's a really good voice line, actually.
Even in silence, I waged war.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Some of these voice lines are good.
Neither death nor mercy are granted lightly. Ascended, darken, I am the blade between. I spare them from what they've become.
Spare them from what they've become. That's kind of a good one too. I mean, listen, these voice lines are kind of cooking with the writing so far.
The temple bound my darkness, but did not purge it.
Yeah, so, okay. Makes sense.
Fallen gods mistake their ruin for glory. My blood burns for slaughter.
Whoa.
My mind urges grace.
Okay.
Let them remember what it means to bleed. Long is the path that leads us back to light.
I like that one too. Something worthwhile isn't always easy, right? I kind of feel like that's what that's saying.
I could fell thousands with one slash, but to what end? Farther still to fall, higher yet to rise.
Okay.
Not vengeance, consequence.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on, dude. These voice lines are really good. Not vengeance, consequence.
The sands churn, the fallen beckon. Broken gods, I bear the burden you could not.
Okay.
I seek
True.
the sunborn, whose veins run with rot. They will suffer, and the world will be safer for it.
Okay.
Fight the corruption or die for it.
Yeah, these moving voice lines, so good. Let's see what we have in the long moves.
Beneath my wings, the sunborn joined me in immortality. Now, beneath my blade, they must die. How easy it would be to destroy all of this. It would be empty.
Wow. I like the pause there.
There was warmth in the flames of war, but I chose the cold.
Wow.
I chose the silence.
He chose the other path.
An age spent warring beneath the sun. It is no wonder some made peace with darkness.
Sure.
Memories bleed together now. A kingdom I never knew, and an empire long gone.
Basically what comes of old age.
As I bound my kin, they were mortal again, for a moment. But it is past, and they are lost. Corruption tears at the edge of my mind. Taunting, tempting.
Okay, that's a good, way of just giving us an insight into what's actually happening in his mind.
It is strange to breathe once more, free from the pall of iron and ashes.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
The trial never ends. In every instant, every motion, keep the Darkin at bay.
Okay.
Few were offered the rites of ascension. Even fewer were truly worthy.
Wow, I like that. That's a really good voice line too. Basically saying, yeah, they may have ascended, but were they worthy of it afterwards? Not many were. Okay, really freaking well-written voice lines, in my honest opinion. I want to hear what you guys think so far, though. All right, moving on. We have just first encounters. We do have more voice lines, actually, with a bunch of other people. This is cool. Here we go.
I sealed myself away. Do not give me reason to show you why.
Oh, my. I love it.
Those who serve fallen gods forfeit their life. You know not what you face.
Wow, you know not what you face. I mean, it's giving the first voice line here, but like almost crazier.
An age-long war begins again. On which side do you fight?
These are good, man. All right, Aatrox.
You make oblivion your master, Aatrox, and so stand for nothing.
Dang. He's basically saying you literally stand for nothing, dude.
Rise, Hawk Emperor. I pledge no loyalty to an unfit leader.
Okay, there's his take on Azir. Kane again.
Mortal and monster, both too deadly to spare.
Oh, both. Both are worthy of killing. LeBlanc.
Your plans will see you slain again and again, Deceiver.
I feel like that wasn't, I mean, that's not going to phase LeBlanc. That voice line, it's not good enough.
Embracing the ways of a beast, Neferi, then die as one.
That's a crazy one. All right, what does he think of Nasus?
We cannot bar ourselves from the world any longer, scholar.
I think him and Nasus would definitely get along, yeah? Renekton?
Such nobility turned to butchery.
Yeah. Sivir?
My queen's blade has fallen far, to the hands of a mercenary.
Ooh, definitely an insult there. We have Varys.
You corrupt your duty, Varys. Vengeance serves no one.
Okay. Xinjiang?
Seneschal, I accept your sacrifice. Do you?
I think he does. I'm curious what's just gonna, I don't know, what's gonna happen with this. You know what I mean? I feel like they're not done with this relationship. I think there's gonna be some more future stuff going on there. All right, Yunara.
Yunara, I was never worthy of your faith.
At least he says it. At least he, you know what I mean? He acknowledges it. If he didn't acknowledge anything Yunara did for him, that'd be crazy. All right, Zoe.
I understand, Twilight. The cruel necessity to keep us sealed.
Okay. Ascended.
Our allegiance must still be proven, God Warrior.
I didn't want to move on from this one, but like the Zoe one might be, I don't know. Is there more to that one? I don't know. All right, anyways, Darkin.
There is no triumph here. You have surrendered to yourself. I
Demon.
am not yours to wield, demon. You are mine to kill.
Cool. Demacian.
I take no joy in facing you, Demacian. I will end this swiftly.
Okay, he just doesn't want to kill him. Kinku?
Kinku, our pact was sure to break. By my hand or yours.
Shuriman.
Run, Shuriman. You face a god and monster of our history.
Hey. And then Void.
To fight the void once more. This I will savor.
All right. I mean, literally, I have to say it. These voice lines alone from Zaahen have, I mean, kind of significantly made me like him even more. Like, honestly, these are really good. All right, let's hear the taunt.
Do not mistake my restraint for peace.
Oh, you know what you see what I'm saying? Like, these are so good. All right, the joke might kill it. Let's see.
Burn! Huh? Burn! My eye, does this not...
Okay, his eye's not working. Okay. Joke response.
My imprisonment was preferable to this.
Fair enough. Thought the joke was bad. And then a laugh. Oh, he's like, oh, I gotta be serious. All right, basic attacking. And let's go right into the attacking voice lines.
Pierce through the din. Spare no evil. You tempt death. Control, not carnage.
Control, not carnage. I like that from him. It makes sense.
Wrath meets ruin. Overcome your nature. What do you sacrifice?
Overcome your nature is a good one too.
Pray, for your sake, I will not be shattered.
Pray for your sake is...
Fury weakens you. This is atonement. As god and monster, remember yourself. Sever madness. You wake my cruelty.
You wake my cruelty. Man, these voices...
No reprieve. More than bloodlust. I am more than hatred's prey. Is bloodshed all you crave? You are past hope.
You are past hope. I'm telling you, man, these are so good so far. All right, going right into ability casting, starting off with using Cultivation of War at max stacks.
Eternity is mine to bear. I alone endure. All else falls away. I will stand above the slain. War without end. Battle honed. Divine and profane. The blood rushes.
These are a little bit more... These are a little bit more obviously like battle oriented, so they're not as good as these previous ones, but let's keep going. Resurrection.
I will not forsake this life.
Okay, so there's the voice line and it pauses as he's like resurrecting.
I am undying. I am unsundered.
I like that one.
No wrath, no revenge, only death.
Dang.
One final warning. Run.
Whoa, I like that one.
You will not be saved from me. I have centuries.
Dang.
You have seconds.
Wow. Grunts in pain, then yells a battle cry. We got two of those. And then resurrection specifically near a darken.
Such rage, my kin. Such futility.
And then resurrection near Xin
You
Zhao.
cannot undo what you set free.
And Yunara.
Yunara. Your faith in me falters.
Ooh. All right, using the darken glaive. Couple of grunts. Using dreaded return. Aureate rush. And the ultimate grim deliverance.
Godhood unbound. We are beyond mercy. Salvation in bloodshed.
Salvation and bloodshed's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple of grunts, and then killing a champion.
You have lost yourself. Needless death. This age forgets the ways of war. Irredeemable.
Irredeemable.
None should meddle with the power of gods.
Basically what he said to Xin Zhao.
This is grace. It must be. Blinded by your own wrath. Rage no more. We darken take much from this world.
True. All right, killing a champion while ally team is ahead.
Remain in control, and the battle is won. Mercy is not afforded to those so far gone.
Dang. And then killing a champion while ally team is behind.
End their carnage. give them no quarter.
I like that they have these kinds of voice lines.
Through noble purpose we regain ourselves.
And then killing Aatrox.
God killer, world ender, my brother enough.
My brother enough. Killing Kayn.
If man and scythe had worked as one, you might have prevailed.
Killing Neferi.
Howl for the self you lost among the pack.
Dang. Varus.
Vengeance only takes Varus. It cannot restore what has been lost.
Zhao.
Be at peace, Seneschal. You have given all you can.
And Yunara.
My friend, I warned you. I was never to return.
Killing an Ascended.
God warrior, rest beneath the sands.
And a Darken.
For who you were. For who you must be again.
I really like that one. Scoring First Blood.
Blood is spilled and the war begins anew.
Scoring an assist for Yunara.
Your enemies are mine, Yunara.
That's cool. Lots of stuff going on with Yunara. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just cool. Scoring a pentakill.
I rise above ruin, above redemption.
Yo, I love the delivery there. All right, we have recall, deaths, and respawns left.
The dreaded past returns by my hand. Where others have been undone, I must endure. Let neither the flesh wither, nor the resolve waver. The motions of battle remain through the ages. Blades will clash once more, and the earth will shudder beneath us.
Wow. I think my favorite one there is where others have been undone, I must endure. And then the death voice line.
The fall, inevitable.
Inevitable.
I deserve the silence.
I deserve the silence. Oh. And then some groans.
Oh.
All right, and then respawns.
The mortal heart still beats within, steady, unyielding.
Okay.
I will return to the light, bloodied if I must.
Whoa, that one's cool.
They take pride in slaughter. They deserve all that comes next.
That one's cool too.
One of infinite lives to give. To slay an immortal is a fleeting victory.
That's very true. Okay, everybody. These were freaking good. These were so good. I mean, it's a combination of many things. A, the voice lines that were given to the voice actor. B, the delivery of the voice actor. C, you know, the effect that was given to Zaahen's voice to give it this whatever. It just really, he's so cool in some of the deliveries of the voice lines. And it also has to do with the idea of his character basically being better than the rest of the other Darken because of the fact that he was able to endure and silence the madness that went on with the others, right? So it just kind of has this really cool factor when he says some of these things. Just like even in silence, I waged war. Like some of those voice lines and the delivery of them are really, really good. I am only evil, deferred. That's like literally the first voice line. It's just so good. And I think it really, I mean, I already had like a positive outlook on Zaahen coming into this, of course, but these voice lines are so, so good, man. I think they're deserving of a Darken because again, before I went into this, I was like, Darkens are like really popular in this game, lore wise, you know, by the player base in general wise, just like in the game. So I was like, okay, hopefully these voice lines don't disappoint. And I really think they nailed it. You guys let me know if I'm totally wrong in the comments, but I think these are super, super good voice lines. There's a lot. There's a lot of different ones in terms of like actual interactions with champions too. That's really awesome. So I think this was like a 10 out of 10 because of the writing. I think the writing is really, really well done. I applaud whoever wrote these voice lines. I think they do a really, really good job. You know, they never like tell you who writes any of these voice lines. I'm sure it's probably a group of people, but it'd be kind of cool if they like actually, I don't know, said who wrote some of the voice lines from the team just to give them like credit and whatnot. But anyways, voice lines were really, really good. In terms of like lore or anything, if there's anything I may have missed, like especially with the interactions with some of the other Darken, do let me know. There currently isn't any trivia added to the bottom of this, but I think, you know, I've reacted to all of these champions actually that he's having interactions with. There isn't a single one here that I haven't. So I do, you know, have a good understanding of all these champions. But I don't think there's anything I missed from it. Basically, he's just disappointed in most of the Darkins, and then, you know, if he's having to fight Yunara or whatever, he's disappointed in Yunara, stuff like that, right? I guess the only one would be the Zoe one, but I don't think there's anything else going on here. He just basically says, I understand why you need to keep us sealed, because he's basically like, yeah, we're not great people down here. So I think that's just basic understanding of the Zoe interaction there. All right, everybody, let's just talk Zaahen in general. I'm curious to see what ends up happening with him in the future. I don't know if they're even going to do any more. Like, do we think they're going to touch him anymore for a while, or is it kind of done? Also, I don't know where, like, you know how obviously like the previous season they had Noxus, then they just ended with Ionia. Do we know where they're going next? I don't actually play League of Legends. You guys know I'm just here for the lore and just enjoying all that stuff. So I'm wondering where they're going to go to next. I don't know if that's been announced or if we have an inkling of an idea. So let me know in the comments on that. But yeah, with the fact that like Ionia, this whole like story for Ionia is done. I wonder if like we're even gonna get any more Zaahen, period. I think we're probably moving on and going directly somewhere else. But cool. All right, everybody, I really enjoyed this. I think these are really, really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. So if you did, please do leave a thumbs up on the video. I am gonna continue to do more League of Legends reactions. If this is your first time here too, go check out my other League of Legends. Reactions. We've reacted to almost every champion in the game so far. We're continuing our journey. We still have a lot to go. We're not done yet, but we have done quite a few at this point. So go check those out if this is your first time here. All right, everybody, like I've said throughout this, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Zaahen in the game, like in terms of abilities and gameplay so far. Like, how is he? What are your thoughts on the overall design of Zaahen? What are your thoughts on the champion theme? What are your thoughts on these voice lines? I just want to hear from you guys in the comments, because I think he's really, really cool. I think as a Darkin, I was excited going into this, so I think they did a really, really good job. And the Twilight's End cinematic, so good in my opinion. Again, you can check out my reaction to that. I'll have it linked at the bottom if you want to go check out that as well, and then I can link it at the top. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Please do leave a thumbs up on the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other League of Legends reactions on the channel if you wish. I have a bunch of those up on here, so go check those out. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.